What's going on, and welcome back to Kickin' It With. My name is Zac Holcomb. This is episode 27, and today we've got Fernando Hicks of Beary Smokey Smokehouse. What's going on, man?
Hello there. How's it doing?
Good, man. Good. How you been?
I'm doing pretty good.
That's
excellent,
good.
excellent.
Yeah, been neighboring it up for about a year now, and
Yeah.
I was like, man, I get you over here on the show.
Yeah, I'm glad to be here. Glad to be here.
Absolutely, absolutely. So what all you got been going on over there, man? You got the new spot opened up. Been open for a couple months now. What was the day? When did you guys open up? November something, right?
Yeah. This will be our 11th week. So
Right on.
we're doing pretty good over there, trying to get some great new food, new flavors going on in Kinston, and it's been an experience. Learning everybody, learning the culture and the barbecue feel on this side of town.
Right.
So, I love it. Serving people is like what we like to do.
Yeah, for sure. Where are you originally from, man?
I'm originally from Virginia.
Okay.
And moved down here with my father and family, of course, to start a landscape company.
Okay.
So I've been landscaping in most of our lives, but I always grew up cooking. I got 6 brothers and sisters, so we had a big family, so you had to be involved in cooking somewhere.
Yeah, everyone's in there, all the hands.
Yeah, and we had a big garden outside, so we had to till the garden and, collect the vegetables, and we had fruit trees, so you learn to deal with new flavors at a young age.
Yeah, how to mix everything up for sure. No, that's really cool.
Yes.
That's really cool. What made you pick Beary Smokey? I know I've seen you answer it somewhere else, but how did you get to the name Beary Smokey Smokehouse?
Yeah, so I've always had this thing for bears. I love bears. I mean, I just think they're aggressive, but they're actually mild-mannered. So,
right.
I've actually had a couple sneak up on me in the woods. I didn't know they were there. You think of a bear as like, rawr.
Right.
But, so just the power and the strength. So it gave me like, I know I'm a pretty big guy, so I was like, well, I want my flavors to be aggressive, aggressive to the point where when people bite it, it tastes different. So I was thinking berry. So I was thinking very with a V. So I was thinking V-R-Y. Then I said, wait a minute, berry, because people actually saying berry. I said, yeah, berry. And I said, let's put a bear thing on it.
Yeah, I like it.
The berry smoke, it just had a good ring to it. I stuck with it.
I like the logo too, with like the smoke and all that, the black and the red. It's pretty
It's eye-catching, and we plan to get some shirts, caps, hats, that kind of thing rolling eventually. So.
Right on. Sweet. Very cool. So, yeah, you got the menu opened up there. You got more so than just being a barbecue spot. You have an entire event space to take advantage of upstairs.
Yes, sir. So we can seat anywhere from 75 to 85 comfortably.
Wow.
In a private venue with private restroom facilities and an upstairs kitchen that can cater specifically to their needs. Even while the restaurant is going, we have the capability to do upstairs and downstairs at the same time. So if people want to do parties, business lunches, the whole nine, if you can create it and think of it, we can help you and assist you in making it happen.
That's true. And you got it's a pretty big, pretty decent space. I've been up there for, in a previous life for kind of like a lunch and learn type of a thing. Like that's a whole other concept of, businesses doing presentations to other businesses or little workshops and things like that. It's literally perfect because you have the space to and then you range down from those numbers. You maybe just throw like 30, 40 people in there.
Yes.
Still super intimate. You got some space. You can have a little workshop set up. You could have, something on a screen.
Yeah,
a little
freedom monitors. Yeah, we have Wi-Fi. We have guest Wi-Fi, limited. So if you want to set up monitors or screens or, do computer networking, everything is available there. Even if you aren't eating, if you want to use the space, we still will lease it out for just a plain business meeting or even a church function. Hey, we all want to help it any way we can in the community.
No, that's really cool. Really cool. Yeah, smart application of the space too. Like I know that space was kind of perfect for you with like having the kitchen and everything being so large for what you were already doing. At least what I was told. I mean, I didn't know you really until you moved down here, but like you guys have a pretty good like catering business going along with everything too, right?
Right.
Was that kind of the backbones that then got you to thinking about doing the store?
Yes, sir. It actually was. We were looking at a food truck, and the truck was taking a while to get constructed. And this opportunity came open, so we pressed it really quick, and it kind of came to life. And we've been enjoying it. It's kind of like our baby, so trying to grow it and nurture it and keep it built on the right path.
For sure. No, that's very sweet, very sweet. So, what got you when did you start making when did you get into the smoked meats game? Like I know you're always cooking and stuff coming up, but what shifted the gears into
Oh yeah. So my mom used to take us out grilling when we were younger, and my dad worked a lot, so he couldn't really get there a lot. But we go to the park and we use the public grills, and never really had a grill at home. My dad would try to grill some, but it was his style of grilling. It was kind of had mad dash style. So we as I got older, I started hanging out. My mom would give me permission to hang out with a guy in the neighborhood that did a lot of smoking hogs and grilling. So he would sit me on his lap, and at first I was scared of smoking pig. I'd be seeing a pig being smoked because I was like, is it alive? As a little kid.
It's kind of overwhelming for a kid.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah. You see this animal twice your size. Like, is it dead? So
am I next? Yeah.
Yeah, my next. Yeah. So, but so I went from there to even helping some of the local pit masters like keep their fires going at night and shoveling charcoal, and then I joined a smoking group called True Smoke on Facebook, and from there it really took off. It was founded by some really good people. It's got a really strong support system. If you look for them on Facebook, look under True Smoke. Everybody shares information. We talk about how to cook, how we cooked it. We share recipes, and it's like a big smoking family. And we meet a few times throughout the year physically, and we all share food together. So.
It's a huge group, man.
Yes,
huge.
yes.
This was months ago. When I finally broke down and joined, it was like 31,000 people. Maybe like December or so. Maybe by the time you opened, I think might have been when I jumped in there. I was like, holy cow. Because I remember when I moved here, I don't know what year it started, but like I moved here in 19, and like it was a relatively small group, like 1,000 maybe, something like that. And I was like 31,000
yes,
people.
Yes.
Holy cow.
And the events, we have an event coming up called Spring Fling that we meet on Everett Road in LaGrange. And that's all the information on the website, but we literally get people from 10, 11 states.
Wow.
And we come set up camp for like 3 days, and we do all the cooking, smoking, competitions. It's family oriented, so kids are out there. They got people bring sometimes their horses or even the dogs out there, and
turning a trail ride.
Yeah.
No doubt.
So it's really cool. People camp out. You're welcome to camp out. Like I said, it's family friendly, and have a good time, and you learn. You see the fire and the fuels that people use and all that kind of stuff. So True Smoke definitely helped me out a lot. And then I'm a national ambassador for a company called Shore Smoke. So Ryan and his wife Nicole, they really send me a lot of spices and keep me supported with some of the new spices coming out. So it's really neat working with people, and they're from Delaware. So working with people from another state and developing new flavors, it's exciting.
No, that's really cool. Yeah, the community of that is really neat, really neat. I don't know if you saw last week, big meat guy here. I haven't cooked a whole ton since we moved down here. I used to cook all the time before we left.
Right.
I threw a little Boston butt in the oven, a little convection oven. I did it as kind of like, I don't have a smoker, so I was kind of doing it as like a joke, like, hey, that's how I just have to cook it because it's what I have. But I put it in, I put bacon over it and everything.
Oh yeah, okay.
Lola does the mustard rub, and we throw it on. She gets her hands all dirty, so I don't have to touch it, which is fantastic. That's her paying her way. But yeah, I threw it in there as like a joke, and I shared it. And I said, since I'm a Southerner now, check out and Heath Harrison in like 4 seconds commented, it was like, in the oven? And I was like, yeah, bro. Taking donations for smokers. You can bring them right down to 300 North Heritage.
I know, right?
But yeah, it was really funny.
Because for a while, you make a good point. I didn't own a smoker until like 2 years ago. So, I mean, I did everything the old-fashioned smoke way, like forced smoke. I would cover like part of the grill up and elevate the food, try to get the smoke off of that. But I probably purchased my first smoke about 2 years ago now, 2 or 3 years ago.
Okay.
So I'm still relatively new, and I learned a lot from guys like Dante Rowe, and he's a big time smoker out west, and Harry Jones, he's up in Virginia. I learned a lot from those guys. I stay in contact with them, and they teach me a little things.
Gotcha.
About briskets. Like, I never seen injected meat. I didn't even know you could inject meat. I'm like,
so what is that?
It's actually, they sell like these giant needle kits that you can inject meats with different flavors. Okay. So they have like, you can either make your own, or they have store-bought, but a lot of people do custom. So you can inject like vinegar or apple juice, and what it does, or like a brine, and gets inside the meat and it softens it and gives it flavor while it's cooking.
Okay.
So it actually makes it even more flavor. So it's kind of like a barbecue experience.
Yeah.
So like craft made barbecue.
Yeah. That's
Right.
kind of what I noticed too. Like, there's no really wrong way to do it. It's just all these different ways that end up right. Like.
Right, exactly. So I prefer the open flame and getting out there and using the actual old school type smokers. There's so many type now. You have propane and electric, but I prefer the wood. Yeah. And something about the wood that makes it, that really kicks it in, that flavor.
So is that like a whole nother part of the game? Like, you got your spice game, you've got the way you prep it, you've got, what are all the things?
Yes,
the type of wood that you're using, how it's prepped.
Yeah, you're right on point. So you have cherry wood, you have pecan, you have apple, you have hickory, you have mesquite. I mean, I didn't know all these types of woods were even out there until I started smoking.
Right.
And I didn't know that it would affect the flavor of the food like that. So the wood, your cherries and your apples, even your peach, orange wood, all the fruit woods will give the food a different flavor and a slightly different texture, as well as make it slightly sweeter than your mesquite or your hickory or your oak.
Okay.
So the hardwoods that are non-fruity have more heat, so you kind of blend like the pecan and a hardwood, or the pecan and or the cherry and the oak together. It gives the food a really different flavor. That smoke is just incredible.
Gotcha. So it's kind of like are those like not charcoal? You're still using you're just burning the wood and you're mixing the different types together to kind of give it a little bit of the little, like little left, little right, and mix it together and kind of have that. Okay.
Yeah, and it's a good flavor blend because.
Is it like sweets and dries, like almost flavors? Like, or what's the mesquite? Is that
the mesquite is really strong? I made a mistake one time. I used all mesquite. Mesquite will take over a barbecue. I can tell you that right now. It was so strong and so smoky. I was like, I should have cut it down by like 20%. Gotcha. So on the woods like hickory, oak, pecan, cherry, you can go 25, 30%. That kind of wood. And mix it, but mesquite you better lower it down about 10.
Okay.
Right, because it permeates really
so
well.
Powerful.
Yeah, it's so powerful.
That's really cool.
But that's what makes it fun, though. Experiment with the woods and
so many variables.
Like
into temperatures for times and things like that.
You're exactly right.
What's the game on that? Like, this is what I did on mine. So this will be fun. I'll do my beginner stuff, and you give me the expert way. I just threw it in. We put a little bit of applesauce in the bottom of like a little foil pan.
Right.
So we had that after we like shook all of our stuff on it. So we had like a little bit of extra of the shake and all the rub down at the bottom. We mix it up with the applesauce or apple juice, and then we put it in like that, and we just let it go for like the first one I did. They were 12 pounds. I got them I put it at 350 for like until it was 155 internal. And then we covered it up with foil and went to like 300 until it was like 205. And then we pulled it, let it chill for hang for like 30 minutes, and then we pulled it.
Okay.
That was the first one. Second one we did at 325, and then we just left it at 325 the whole time, covered it at the same temp, and then pulled it at the same temp.
How did it come out with the results?
The second one was way better.
Okay.
The second one, I think it was because we cooked it slower the whole time, or lower. But then also on that one, I put the fat side up, and we put bacon over top of it. The first one, I put the fat side down and like the apple juice.
Okay.
And I never flipped them. Am I supposed to flip them, or you just put them in?
No, you have to flip them. You have to flip them. Mostly, I mean, everything sounded great what you did. I wish I could have got me some. Got me hungry over here.
Yeah, we threw it. Dude, we got a little food saver. The in-laws hooked us up. Oh, man. Yeah, we're on that game now. I was like, oh, my God, we can pull it out and make nachos.
Yeah. Nachos, all kinds of stuff. Tacos. Oh, man, it's just amazing. Sandwiches.
Yeah.
But yeah, so basically when mine gets to an internal temperature, about 155, 160, I'll pull it and I'll wrap it. Some people like to pull it a little earlier. I like to get the most smoke in mine that I can before I pull it and wrap it. Either butcher paper or aluminum foil, then I put it back in and push the IT up and turn the temperature to about 175, 180. Then I'll pull it and I'll let it sit, for a while. And then, if you do it just right, you'll be able to pull the bone like right out of the shoulder or the butt. Right. Mm-hmm. And then, some people like to shred it. Some people like to chop it. I particularly like to chop mine up to a finer barbecue. Mm-hmm. But I will take a couple of pieces off and eat it while I'm right there.
So the burnt ends, I'm telling you, I'm super novice. Is that like all the little crispy bits that like are a little bit too tough to pull? Is that in that same thing, or is that?
You can make burnt ends off of a shoulder. Most people either use like a loin or they use pork belly. Okay. And if they're doing pork, if they're doing beef brisket, they use what they call the the fattier end of it because it cooks slower than the tip. So you would cube it up, add some butter, brown sugar, toss it, put on the smoker, pull it off, re-sauce it, then let it simmer for a while, and then you put it back in the smoker, and then it's becomes like kind of like a sweet little candy. Add a little brown sugar, a little butter, barbecue sauce.
I like that. I like that. You eat it with a bunch of friends. Just get everybody grab a toothpick. And
Oh
rock
yeah.
and roll.
Yeah, it's good. Good eating. Real good eating.
Okay, very cool. Yeah, we'll have to do that, man. We'll have to try one and pull it a little earlier because we definitely let it go a little while. But we just I just grab the forks, man, and go to town. Just pull that thing sideways and.
Yeah,
I got to get one of those big chopping blocks. I got one for my father-in-law for Christmas, and then I started doing this, and I get it all over the table. I'm a mess. It's like right now, it's like I'm getting the kids ready to play with Play-Doh, but it's just me messing around. With
yeah. I still do the same thing. I got a big chopping block, but I still pull out a smaller one sometimes, and it goes everywhere. Yeah. The funniest part about it, though, like I said, once you get it the consistency that you want, you can clean it up and you're done, and it saves really well. So
yeah.
The next day it's probably just as good or even better than the first day.
That's what I was telling her. She's like, man, we threw it in the we made a little thin packs of it so it would defrost quickly and stuff. So we can get home if we get home late at night, we just pull it out like an hour ready to rock and roll.
Right.
Warm it up, throw it in. She made tacos the other night. Just grab random things and you're ready to go. That's what we.
Oh yeah. I'm telling you, that's the way to go.
And it's so good.
It's amazing. You wouldn't think you'd be able to get that kind of food, and you really can't get a lot of that kind of food around here. But that kind of brings us to the point where I started the Smokehouse and stuff, because so many people are doing it at home, but in a commercial facility where you can just go get smoked chicken or smoked ribs or brisket, or we even smoke beef sausage. Whatever you want. We try to cover a broad variety of food and meats so that people can really eat them, have a good time, and get a good taste when they come into town.
Yeah, exactly. It's I'm with that too, because doing it all sometimes is a real pain in the tail, and by the time you do all that, it's almost like you do all that work. Sometimes you're like, cool, glad we ordered a pizza so I can just go to sleep after it's all done. But exactly what you're saying though on the business opportunity of obviously there's a market for it,
right?
Very clearly, and to be able to pop in and it's something that you enjoy doing all day long, that sure makes the grind a lot easier.
It's actually therapy. It's really good therapy for me. I've seen times where before an event or competition, even at the events we do with True Smoke, we'll stay up all night long and they'll be out there and smoking. They don't sleep. It's like a grown up camp site for kids, for adults. All the smokers are going, and like I said, you're looking at anywhere from 150 to 300 different setups out there. So people bringing in giant mobile home, pull behind campers and mobile campers and tents and families, and it's really one big family event. But I said the aroma of smoke, you can see it rising in the distance when you pull up.
I was wondering, there's just a cloud over that area.
It's like a cloud.
Over Grange.
Even with the rain, we've had some rain and adverse weather before. It didn't stop us. People work as a family. My tent got destroyed one year, and when the guys loaned me a tent. Yeah, nice. So that's what I like about it.
That's cool. How does humidity affect the game at all?
That's a good question. Hotter days are easier as far as keeping the heat level high. I've had some of my best smokes in the cold though. That's because I was able to smoke longer because the temperature could. Right. So they have this stuff called it's a ash based lump charcoal. That's what it is. Lump charcoal is really good at holding temperature for a long time. Okay. So the best smoke that I had was it held temperature at about 245 all night long. I kept getting up checking on it because I was worried it was going to drop.
Yeah, you're going to come up.
And so as long as it stayed 225, I didn't touch it, and it stayed perfect. I didn't have to have any wood, so it was like the perfect storm, or the perfect complement, I should say, to smoking. But rain is the absolute worst.
Really? Okay.
Right, because the moisture level somehow affects as the smoker. If you're burning outside in the elements, that is, it affects the smoker more so than wind. So there's something about that rain, just the moisture from it just cools it down so quick.
Gotcha. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, so the smoker has to work really hard to keep the temperature up.
Yeah.
And you're out there pumping wood to it. Then that's the other thing. The wood could get wet if you're using wood. And if you're using charcoal, you're going to have an issue. So
Gotcha. Yeah, that stuff just soaks up the moisture in the air for sure too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or it can get too hot. You know, I've had that happen before too. So
Yeah. Does that like I mean, around here especially, you know, I'm from up north. Like these scorcher summer days, not good times to really be doing it.
No.
I mean, because it's the adverse effect of it being chilly out, right? Like it just races the temperature up.
Races up, then it'll keep racing, and there's nothing to like help lower it down. So
it's almost like all these smokers should be like painted white instead of black. Like everyone's smokers.
You're
like
right.
black.
I've never seen a white one, but you're
sense.
right. Yeah, I've seen a couple of pinks and greens, but never white.
Yeah, we need like UV reflective.
Yeah, that's a good idea. You're onto something.
Yeah,
you're onto something.
You know, there's a lot of money in this game. You know what I mean? There's some guy out there that would pay $10,000 to just be that much better than his buddy. You know?
Yeah, or either like a satellite. What do you call it? Solar powered smoke. A smoker that uses solar power to maintain the heat once you get the fire started, like some kind of heat radiating system.
Yeah, or like a cooling tray, but you got the smoke going around it.
Yeah,
the tray is trying to be cold.
Like a convection smoker.
Yeah.
See, look. Don't take these ideas. We're writing them down, by the way.
Like we always say, and I've been saying this in a lot of episodes recently, is like, I'm really, like if someone out there that's worth a ton of money that could live without 25 to 100,000, like it wouldn't really affect their life too much. If they wouldn't mind just going ahead and either in payments or in lump sum, I don't really care. But you could just bring that money down here to 300 North Heritage and drop it off, and I will make magic happen with that 25 to 100 grand. You never know.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You don't get what you don't ask for. Eventually, someone's gonna walk down here and be like, "You have asked so nicely. Here it is, 6 figs."
Hey, sign me up for that.
We'll split it. If you bring it down, you can put Fernando and Zac on it. We'll split it 50-50, and you never know. We might have some like crazy hyper cooled chambers and.
Yeah, definitely. We'll come up with something.
Someone's doing it somewhere. You know that there's someone playing that game.
That's how. Hey, look at all these smokers that are out here now. You have smokers like Rectech, which is one of the best in the world. They're super expensive. You have smokers as high as $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000.
Wow.
So people definitely got together and hey, let's work on this, and it came into fruition. So
that's really neat. Yeah, I never thought about that, like how the ambient temps affect things, or how ambient humidity would affect things. Like it affects the way that we melt plastic. Like if our humidity in here is too much, or the heat, or we're not getting. Actually, an interesting thing with what we do. I don't know. You might have something like this. Might be similar, but we have like when the plastic is melting, it off gases.
Right.
And so there's a actual like I don't know. I didn't go to college, but I just melt plastic.
Right.
But I don't know what they call it, but we have to have like so many fresh air swaps in the room over time to continue to pump out fresh oxygen into the room so that it can continue to have what the elements that it needs to produce an off gas. Like, is there anything like that in the smoking game where you've got like, is there a situation where it could be too smoky and there's not enough airflow going through there?
Right.
Does it stay? I mean, I don't even know.
Right. Yeah. So most smokers have like double or triple vents, and sometimes. Like if I'm smoking a turkey, if I'm doing multiple butts, or if I'm doing like multiple briskets or a heavy meat load, I'll actually close my vents and I'll trap most of the smoke inside for a while. I want to push most of the smoke I can where you have the best smoke going. Then after a couple of hours, I'll open the vents a little bit, let a little smoke out. So so especially indoors, we have an indoor smoker now. We keep it on a vent system, and you have to monitor the temperature because it will get too hot, because the indoor smoker doesn't have the ambient effect of the weather or the outside. Right. So 300 is a true 300. While you have an outside smoker, 300 might be 275. Depends on the weather. So, you definitely want to keep it. Some people have tried to smoke inside without a hood vent. I don't recommend it. I've seen some funny things on TikTok and YouTube. I've seen people smoke inside of tents. It's not recommended. You better have some fresh air exchange going in there. You're going to be looking, kind of looking like a light, what's the guy? Pigpen on Charlie Brown.
Yeah, he's running around. Yeah, you get a little, like a little Mary Poppins effect.
Yes. And I definitely burn the right wood. We've had some people burn the wrong wood before, and it didn't work out. Can't be creosote soaked, regardless of what somebody says. Gotcha. Make sure your wood is good, because it could cause some damage to the person as well as yourself. So.
Okay. So yeah, for all you amateur smokers at home, you can't just like go down to Walmart and grab the normal bundle and bring it back and just throw it in there. Like,
Yeah, you can't buy fireplace logs in your smoker. It might seem like a good idea, but it's not.
I got a great deal on this, Fernando. Look at how cheap it was. Oh gosh, that's funny. That's something I would do.
Oh yeah.
Maybe. Yeah, we were cooking with the Blackstone the other day, and it was kind of cold outside and windy, so I pulled it back under like into the lean-to for a minute. And it looked fine to me, and then everyone came out. They're like, "It's pretty smoky in here, Zach." And I was like, "It's fine." And then I went outside and looked back in. I was like, "Yeah, it's pretty smoky. It's pretty bad."
Yeah, that smoke would find an entry. Like even when I smoke at home, I can literally be in my back bedroom and be like, I need to check my smoker because I can see us getting smoke. I know there's a high level of smoke outside because it's permeating through the house somehow. So.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, it gets pulled into the system a little bit.
Yeah. So,
which is cool, except for like the visual effect, right?
Yeah. Then my neighbors are always like, man, you smoke all the time. And they'll come over and be watching my smoker for me. Hey, buddy, let me know when you're out there. Kind of scary. Yeah. Come outside, so I was looking at your smoker.
Hanging out, around a couple of $100 worth of meat.
And that's a funny story too. Some of my friends have had meat stolen off the grill or smoker.
No way.
Yeah, and this meat is coming off super hot.
Yeah,
I mean, 200 degrees sometimes. And then I see people. I can only imagine them running down the street holding this hot meat in their hands.
Throwing a backpack.
Yeah, backpack or something. Follow the drip.
Yeah, exactly. That is too funny, man. I couldn't imagine going up and stealing someone's like food right off the grill. It's like such a cartoon character type of a thing. That is hilarious.
Yeah, it's never happened to me before, thank goodness. But I heard one of my friends was in town Sunday telling me about somebody stole some of his food, some steaks off the grill. And I was like, it
wasn't the dog
serious.
or like it was like Tom and Jerry running around. Yeah. That's hilarious. Golly, what's the world coming to? Get your hands off our meat, man.
I know, right? Don't touch my meat.
Yeah, exactly. Well, cool, man. You got a bunch of. It's not just about like the proteins as much as I'd like to think it is, because I'm a big protein guy. But the sides, man, the sides go with the game too.
Yes, you're exactly right. So, I mean, just learning new ways to like I never had smoked mac and cheese until about 3 years ago.
Yeah.
So we smoke all our mac and cheese. I mean, we got Gouda. We have certain pimento-based smoked macs, pepper jack.
That's the stuff. By the way, the pepper jack mac.
Yes. I mean, when you put the smoke on it, just makes it so different.
Mm-hmm. It kind of makes the whole consistency like thicker. It's more it's like a baked, almost like a baked pasta dish or something like that. Like
yes.
Oh my gosh.
And then the emollients you put in it to make it creamier just is enhanced by that heat, the intense heat. The oven can't produce the oven only gives you like heat, but the smoker gives you that smoke heat. It's a little different. It's a little drier heat, so it takes a little moisture out of the dish.
Yes,
but what it does, it makes it richer and creamier to me. Yes. So I can pick them apart immediately. Like as soon as I take one bite, based on the flavor and the texture. So we have smoked sweet potato souffle that we smoke. The sweet potatoes. We even use hickory smoked bacon in some of the dishes, like cabbage and bacon. So everything we try to put a little smoky aspect in it.
Nice. Yeah.
I mean, but coleslaw, potato salad. I mean, you gotta have those barbecue type sides. But then we have string beans, which you put smoked meat in. Use smoked turkey necks and the collards, because people kind of don't like pork in them. So
that's interesting.
Yeah,
people don't like the pork and the collards, really.
Oh yeah, we found out the hard way.
Is that a local thing?
Yeah, it's starting to pick up a lot because people are trying to say they eat barbecue, but they don't want pork in the collards, and I'd be like, it's different. It's
interesting.
But
I guess I was probably thinking of Brussels sprouts though, but
yeah. No, I do love Brussels sprouts, by the way. Oh yeah, with onions and peppers and stuff.
Yeah, you got to get the like crispy bacon bits in there.
Yeah,
too.
yeah,
God, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, they have that stuff. Have you ever been to this is a chain place. Don't kill me. BJ's Smokehouse. Have you ever heard of that place?
I've heard of it, but I've never been there.
It's a chain place. They've got like their own little, microbrewery beers and stuff, but they do a killer. That's where we started picking it up. They did like a little Brussels sprouts thing. They bring it out like one of those little, like a little flat pan.
Yeah.
They cook it in. And they've got the bacon bits on it, and then they've got like this little. It's not like a creamy sriracha sauce, but it might be. It's just like one of those little spicy, little like, creamy drizzles on it, and man, that stuff is smacking. That's what I always think about when I saw like collard balls. I've not had them yet, but
yeah. I'm glad you said it. Yeah. So the collard balls, thanks to Sandy Bottom Bandits, I was trying their season one day, and that's jalapeno. Low ground grit has some jalapeno hints in it. So I said, let me make this me try something real quick. So I came up with a jalapeno ranch drizzle.
Okay.
That goes over the collard ball dishes that I created, which are like collard meatballs, and we serve it over a bed of mashed potatoes covered in house-made brown gravy. And it's just something about that jalapeno ranch that kicks it off just right. Like people see it and they say, "Oh, it looks beautiful, it looks nice." When they taste it, it kind of enhances the taste buds a little because it's not that hot, but it's just a little bit of kick in it. Then mixed in with the gravy and the collard meatball, it's one of our top sellers. People really love it.
I like pairing anything, man. Any little spices with like a ranch. It's just like it's almost like an oxymoron, but it just works. Like
people love sauces.
It's like spicy food and IPAs, man. They're just like made together. Like, it's
yeah.
really good. It's really good. What are I'm gonna hit you with a couple of top threes. First one is top 3 sauces coming out, proprietary or off the shelf. You can pick. Because I'm a Sweet Baby Ray's guy, but Grant found this famous Dave's like Devil's Spit or something the other day. And it's really good too. These are like the traditional red sauces, I think, a little sweeter, but that thing was really good.
Yeah.
I know you got a couple over there that you guys got on the Pums.
Yeah, we use a little house-made Sweet Baby Ray's that we cut with a house mix. We also use Kraft Signature made battle tested barbecue. That's a really good one. He's Mike. He's from the north, but he delivers all around. He's ex-military. Developed a line of sauces.
Nice.
Like the hickory and the signature sauces are really good. And then we have a good friend of mine named Brandon, and he makes a lot of sauce, and he's really good. So I buy a lot of sauce from him.
Nice.
So we use it, we cut it, and it's got bits, all the flavors in it, like we used to North Carolina. So people really love it. So those 3 about the main 3 we really use. We do make some in-house barbecue sauces. Still working on getting those to perfection, but people love those as well. So it's all about the sauce. So if you get a good meat, you get it smoked well, you want to keep it moist and tender, and then people want to add their own sauce flavor. So that kind of completes the trifecta,
Yeah, man, I can do that. I can just sit there with like a little bit of it, mix a little sauce in there, and go to town, man.
Yeah, I think what people fell in love, and it's a fast food restaurant, but I just say the Ronald McDonald's. I think the love of dipping comes from that when everybody was a child getting nuggets.
Yeah, pick your sauce and
I mean, because they were the first people doing the selectable sauces way back in the day.
That is true. I hadn't thought about that, man. Yeah, like Burger King had the dinosaur nuggets, but McDonald's had the sauce game.
Had the sauce,
down. That's true. And then Wendy's has been on it a little bit too, with like coming up with some different wild out there type things and stuff like that.
So now everybody's into sauces and dips.
Yeah, that's a good point. Because like coming from the north, move down here, go to this, go like, I'll take like a pulled pork sandwich or something. You get it, and it's like, where's the barbecue sauce at?
Right.
And they're like, no, that's barbecue. And I'm like, yeah, but I need that sweet and tangy sauce. Like, where is that? And they're like, I get this look like, no, just.
Yeah, that's just the sandwich.
It's just the sandwich. I was like, oh my gosh. It took me a while. It was a hard lesson. I got switched. That's Bojangles. I got switched over to them the Cajun filet biscuits. How it was good to roll. But there for a while. There were a couple of things like that. We also learned coming from the north. I don't know if Virginia would be far enough, but if you want sweet tea down here, you don't ask for sweet tea. You'll get unsweet tea because there's no reason here locally to even like infer that you want it sweet. You would only say unsweet if you wanted unsweet because sweet is like the default.
Right.
So I learned that the hard way too. I'd always be like, and I'll take a sweet tea, and they're like, and a sweet tea, and I just missed it in the accent, and I was like, yep. And then I get him like, this is not sweet. I thought we were in the South. It's supposed to be the sweetest tea anyway.
Exactly.
Like,
you can throw it on the wall.
Columbus, it was sweet. I moved down here, it's not. It was like, and someone told me they're like, no, all tea is sweet tea. You only say unsweet. You only specify if you want it to not be sugary. And I was like, gotcha. But that was lessons from the north.
Yeah, tea down here is like liquid gold. I mean, if you got good tea, you have to have good tea with your food. If your tea is bad, like I don't know, it ruins the food.
It's a requisite. Yeah. It counts way higher than just the drink here.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like a side or a sauce. For
sure. Tea and lemonade. Lemonade's a close second, right behind it.
Yeah, we were over at your spot one time. We got your wife hip to the Arnie Palmers. The little mix, little half and half. Yeah.
People love those around here too.
Yeah,
they love them.
Yeah, we get. not a ton of that up north, but a fair amount.
Oh yeah,
With
yeah. In the
half
South,
and half,
yeah, in the South, you better offer it because they, you got some people that's all they want.
Yeah,
On a half and half. Arnie Palmer's over soft drinks or anything else. They want that half and half.
Yeah,
So.
no, that makes sense. Well, you got. Are you still doing? Are you doing any like cooking competitions and things like that now that you have the restaurant, or have you kind of like rededicated to the restaurant, or do you still use those opportunities as ways to A, learn, B, network, and C, get your name out there more?
All the above. Yes. So trifecta. So I like to go to the competitions and compete and push myself to be better and see what everybody else is doing as well. And then get to taste foods that I might not have thought about. I know a guy named Sam Summerlin. He beat me in one competition. He made a sweet cornbread with like bits of apple and some kind of honey drizzle or cream drizzle. It was amazing. I've never thought of that. That's like a dessert cornbread. That's pretty good.
He put a little vanilla ice cream with that even? Or
I think he did.
Is that sweet? Oh, man.
Yeah, and I was blown away. Really, I was bringing some savory. I had mixed some pepper jack and bacon into my cornbread, and I placed well, but the sweet won that day.
Yeah, that's really interesting.
So, but definitely want to compete. It's pulled me away from doing some competitive, cooking, but I definitely stick to the true smoke competitions.
Yeah.
I've done a few chili competitions, and I've been a judge a few times. And the whole food world, just how it brings people together. It's just amazing. Mm-hmm. People love to eat. So you got to eat, but that's the difference between got to eat and love to eat are different. Yeah. If you love to eat, you'll seek out those special places and those special venues and stuff. So
yeah, and that's at least what I've seen largely is like, how much would you say that the True Smoke group and the following has really contributed to the opening? I feel like almost daily, and you're very, very like you're on the Facebook a lot. Doing posts and sharing things and writing funny little copy with pictures and stuff, which is hilarious. But it seems like you've got a lot of people traveling in to see you because of that. I mean, how has that been?
Right. So that's cool the way media works. You start something online and then it transfers to real life, and you get to practice all the foods that you really love to cook, and people actually come support you and eat it. And then they show up again at meetings. So it's kind of like a repetitive cycle because they want to see what you're creating. So I, as well as some of the other guys, Sam Vick, Henry Jones, got the Potter Boys from Kinston, Dave Watkins, Sam Summerlin, all the guys. We show up, Ted Parkers and, like I said, Ryan and Nicole Stevenson. Everybody gets together and they're really excited about cooking. Mm-hmm. And you get together, you go out there, it's like we don't want to separate when we get there. Right. It's like it's so nice, and just let's say to see the excitement about cooking and stuff and the new flavors that are created. And Ryan, he's a flavor guru. He's always creating like new flavors and new spices. So he'll send us down and be like, try this out. What you thinking about this? I'm like, hey, that's amazing.
Yeah, and they're getting feedback too. So it's like it's a whole thing of like, hey, what about this? And that's really cool. The way that flavors ebb and flow and evolve from that is pretty crazy. There's so many variables, like you said, the wood, all the craziness, the rubs.
Yeah. Just like I said, when you pair it all together, and like I said, we have people who provide basically everything. So we have Taylor Jones in the group who provides a lot of the meat for the competition. Taylor Bass, from Artie Jones Packing. And, all these guys, they give us a lot of stuff to play with sometimes, and that makes it even funner.
Yeah, absolutely.
Somebody comes like, hey, here's a box of sausage, I know they make a very delicious. If you haven't tried it, it's Artie Jones jalapeno sausage. Oh my God. I could eat a foot of it, and still want more. So when they show up on the sites, and he'll bring his big truck out there, and he have the meat right on site. You get to pick the meats you want to smoke or cook, and it supplies whole hogs, and it supports local economy too. Right. So when you get all those people in town cooking for those events, the economy benefits from it.
Yeah, there were people running to the grocery store, stuff they forgot, gas. Tons of stuff. And the event.
And it goes on for 3 days. So
that's crazy. That's super cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'll have to roll out there and check that one out for sure.
Oh yeah, come out there. Come out there.
We saw I hit up like a steak cook-off, I think, at Riley's Landscape maybe about 2 or 3 months ago.
Okay.
Pretty good time. Some of the guys, some of the general folks are out there. But that was a really cool little thing too, man. Just all these little like cooking events and all the people that they bring out is crazy. It's like it's a whole fair just baked into the event. I mean, the families and the fans and the people that, just the quiet at home guy that's just kind of,
And I don't know if you remember, I know a guy named Chris Hatcher.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know Hatch?
We had him on, yeah.
Yeah, okay, cool. So the event is held on, he's a True Smoke.
Property, right?
Right, yeah. It's held on his property. So I know you like baseball. So he's a really cool guy. Built some stuff for me. Just down to earth. Really appreciate him loaning the land out to us to have these events. I mean, it's the only.
Helpful dude.
Yeah, he's built bridges, like go across some of the irrigation ditches out there. So it's really safe. And they set up, he and David Watkins and a couple other people, they set up so it's porta johns and porta potties and trash facilities so you can dispose of your paper and stuff. So, I'm just thankful for people like that having a giving heart. And that's made me be a giving person, So I like to set up at the events, and events are free. You just have to be a member, of True Smoke or part of the family. So, I mean, we set up and we give away all this food every year.
That's cool.
So I tell people, come eat. Like, people never make it. It's like a big circle. People never make the full circle eating everything.
They just get stuffed.
Yeah, you're just going to get full like the first 3 or 4 tents. So
that'd be me for sure. That is cool, though. That is
really cool.
Yeah, we're definitely have to hit it up on Hatch Spot. Yeah, he was on here talking to us about that and explaining a little bit in the group. And we were talking about the True Smoke group, too, and he was like, yeah, it started out, everything was cool. He's like, now we got like moderators in Australia because you never know when stuff will go down overnight and you're all asleep. I was like, golly, you guys have like made it. This is the freaking big time on the Facebook.
Yeah,
it's amazing. So awesome. So awesome. But yeah, the way you can go to a town like LaGrange and just blow it out for like a whole festival basically is nuts. I mean, you might potentially like almost double the population of LaGrange for a weekend. Like, that stuff is sweet. That's moving the needle. You know what I mean?
You're
like,
right.
You're
really
right.
Cool. And me, I'm secretly inboxing. It's not a big secret anymore, but I'm reaching out to these super huge barbecue stars,
Yeah.
Like Bobby Flays and all those kind of people, trying to get them in, invited them to it. So I inbox them and contact their personal people, and they always say, well, he's booked, but maybe I'm hoping one year we can get somebody like that out there.
They just randomly show up, or like they just be in the neighborhood and pop in, or you never know, like. Exactly, like that 100,000 we're gonna get eventually. Like you never know what you might get if you just keep inboxing and putting it out there.
You're right. You don't know until you try.
Exactly.
But I know we have like certain people that compete, and like Henry Jones, he competes in all over the place. I mean, I don't know a place he hasn't been as far as competing, and he does really well. Ranked nationally in the world. He's part of the True Smoke group. So I mean, I watch a lot of his stuff, and even though I haven't been to a big competition like him, I lean on him and I learn from him. So when I see the plates, he's taught me how to plate like the food, and I see it, how to do competition ribs, and they give clinics at the show, at the flings, and so you get to learn not how to just cook it, but how to present it.
Okay, that's a good question. That leads me to one so the presentation then obviously is a part of the game. You're not just making a whole hog and pulling a little bit of stuff together and slapping it on a plate and being like, here you go, pass it down. What is the, like, for those that don't know, let me, I guess, ask it in this fashion. For like a barbecue fest style whole hog cook-off, what are they actually grading? Like, to the common person who's just coming down and getting a sandwich or a plate, what goes on to what is the judging? What's the
so most of them, if they're sanctioned, and I'm still learning a lot about it myself, but you can only use maybe vinegar or baking powder. I'm not even sure if that's 100% correct, but they're definitely checking it for temperature, for moisture, and for color. Those are the 3 things they're really sticklers on, and taste, of course. So you have a team of judges that go around and they check each hog individually for those items, and they give each team a score based on what and each judge not really sharing their score, they're doing it individually. So at the end of the event, you get a composite score, right? And that's how you kind of place. You might really do well in the color. It might be beautiful, but the moisture might be low, or you didn't hit the correct temperature. So most of the time, you can get disqualified for not having like the temperature right. So it's very important. And these hogs cook, 4, 5, 6, 10 hours.
Yeah, like overnight.
Overnight, yeah. So
how much? What do those little suckers weigh on average? Is there like a standard size? Or
most people are going with a 75 to 100-pound hog.
Okay.
I've seen 150, but what you do with 150, it's tricky.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
it's
because you got the ends and the mid. Yeah,
right.
it's like so much.
Yeah, it's a
going
lot of meat.
That makes
yeah.
sense. That makes sense. How old is a hog like that? Generally, 7,500 pound hog, cleaned up.
With the new market, they're bringing them to market so fast now.
Yeah.
You know,
It
don't take them long.
Yeah.
You know, a couple of months and they're ready to go.
Just keep feeding them, baby.
Yeah, you keep feeding them. And I've actually seen some really big hogs. Like, I went to the Durham Science and Nature Center. They got a couple of 1,200 pound hogs in there. I mean, big enough to eat us, probably.
Yeah, you got to break those down.
Yeah. You got to get a chainsaw or something. Those are massive. But I'm cool with the 75 to 100 pounds.
That's it. Right.
And I've yet to do my own whole hog by myself. Okay. I've helped people. I know I have a good friend and assistant manager at the restaurant in Cookie Roads. He and his father have been doing whole hogs for a while. Mm-hmm. So I'm trying to lean on them and learn from them, and as well as others, how to do a whole hog by myself. You know. Yeah. I think it'd just be fun. The tricky part is turning it. You know. So that's the.
So you rotate it. Do you just rotate like this, or you got to flip the whole thing over, right? Okay.
Yep. So you start skin side up, and then I think as you flip it, you put the skin side down. If I think that's how they do it. Okay. So I know Dave Gordon, if you're watching, I'm still learning from you too, buddy. You got to come by and see me. Teach me a few things.
You gonna do one for the barbecue fest? Is there gonna be an official Beary Smokey entry?
It would be nice. I hadn't thought about that, but if I can get a couple of pointers and maybe get Cookie Rose to help me, that'd be nice.
All right. I'd be interested in be like, maybe it'll be like a North Street team, you know, maybe we'd do like, I'll be like the certified beer drinker or something. I'll just keep the cooler cold or something out there. Be like, it looks great.
We got a barbecue event coming up in the 11th. It's not being taught about. It's at the Extension Center.
Oh, you down there on, what is it? What is it? It's basically Skinner's. I can't remember once it jumps
I seen it the other day. I was like, wow, how barbecue event slipped through here. So I think it's the 11th and the 12th, so I want to try to keep an eye on that as well.
Gotcha. When is what are the dates for the one out at Chris's spot? Do you know off the top of your head?
Not off the top of my head, but it's called Spring Fling. So if you hashtag Spring Fling on Facebook or go to True Smoke, it should pop up real easy. Okay. But it's coming up pretty soon. I think it's in March. I was
gonna say
it's like it's March 28th through the 31st, but I'm not sure.
Oh, okay. Hopefully I'll be back in town for that. That'd be cool. I got some end of March, a big melted plastic convention time.
Okay.
Here, so
cool deal.
My favorite time. Go to Chicago for a couple of days.
Oh yeah.
It's one of my favorite big cities. What do you got? We were talking about it a little bit before. I'm a Cubs fan, so I like hanging out in Chicago. It's one of those cool cities to go spend like 3 days, maybe 4. And then get out of there and get back to Eastern North Carolina. But what are your favorite cities to travel to? Like big ones? You got like a top 3?
Yeah, actually, I like New York, Bronx. You know, got to see Yankee Stadium being built. They had a little view window, so the new Yankee Stadium.
Oh yeah.
You know, so it's right in the heart of the Bronx, and that was nice. And I like Philly. I'm an Eagles fan, so I like Philadelphia. I like going there.
You got them obviously taking down the Niners this week.
Yeah, hopefully.
And it's in Philly, right?
Yeah, it's in Philly. Yeah. So I also like the country setting. So I like Maggie Valley, Tennessee. Yeah. You know, Asheville. Mm-hmm. You know, seeing all the mountains and just being at home. There's so many smokers in the mountains. Yeah. I mean, when we went there, every time we go there, my son was going to school there, Christ School, and it was amazing. Like, you can ride through the cities and smell the smoke. Like, I was picking up he's smoking ham, or he's smoking this. Like, he's got bacon, and it was wild. I was like, everybody's smoking here. That's what they do. They have the real full-size smoke houses, too. So.
Just going hard. Are those the ones? So, like, that's another thing, too. You see the game where they got, like, the trailers and stuff?
Yeah.
But then I've seen this thing. I think it might have been out at Hatch's place where they did, like, that whole little, like, mega structure, and they had, like, the pans that rolled in and out underneath for, like, putting the coals. What is that thing called? Because I got this spot out back here. And I was like, maybe I don't need a smoker. I just need a couple of cinder blocks and, like, a tray. Yeah. Because that looked really cool.
It was. It actually smoked a whole cow, a steer on that thing. I've never seen that happen before. That was humongous.
That's crazy.
Then they like layered it in bacon. So I was like, I got to try some of it. It was really unique.
I like
Never seen that happen. I mean, it took a lot of time and a lot of people.
Is that like the grand exhibit? Of
yeah.
That is so cool.
I mean, it was huge. I was like, wow, you know.
Golly.
It it was an experience to see it and see it being built and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah. I do like Virginia. Virginia's not big on smoking, but I'm from Virginia, so I like the Chesapeake area. Mm-hmm. You know, so I do like some seafoods, like the crab and shrimp. I'm a big shrimp fan. Okay. Not a lot you can do with shrimp as far as smoking it. You know, you get a little smoke in it, but like crabs and like lobster a little bit, that kind of thing. So, but my favorite place probably have to say the mountains. Yeah, it's just so calm and relaxing. Yeah.
And it gives you, you know, you had a little bit of that in Virginia too. Like I think of Virginia of like the hills and the leaves in the fall time. Like Virginia's got that pretty locked down. I'd say probably Western North Carolina mountains, Eastern Tennessee. Yeah, that whole little conglomerate. Very cool. West Virginia.
Yeah, West Virginia. I spent a week in West Virginia camping out outside, living off the land. It was awe-inspiring. Yeah, like whitewater rafting.
Like that. You do the New River? Is that where you were going?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a cool spot, isn't it? Very cool.
I mean, fishing, and we even seen a couple of grizzlies, and you know, just seen a giant, I guess, moose or elk or whatever. Really? And all I could think about was, how can I fit them on my smoker? No, I'm playing.
Yeah. We got to get some of that. I think I might have mentioned this to Chris too, and he was on. Steph and I went to Nashville in September, and we were there just like, you know, having drinks at lunch or something, and the bartender lady like got like super excited. She got like a text. She got real excited. And we heard her talking about, oh, I can't wait. We're going to cook it up and eat it. And so I was like, hey, what were you so excited about? Like right back there. And she was like, I don't know if you guys are into this or not, but you know, anyway, I'll tell you. She's like, I'm married to a guy who comes from a family of like big time hunters. And we like trying exotic meat and all these different things and yada, yada. And she goes, well, anyway, husband just texted me, he just got some kangaroo meat, like a whole flank of kangaroo. And I was like, what? And she was like, yeah, actually in Australia, there's this whole thing where like basically in Australia, they have like a hunting season for kangaroos similar to what we have here for deer. Because there's so many of them, they're overpopulated, they'll run out in the roads and there's people getting in accidents hitting kangaroos. And I was like, you know, like here you're thinking like, oh, it's like a little cuddly little kangaroo. Or you're thinking like the huge kangaroo that boxed the dude. Right. You're thinking about those two things. You're like, oh, like you wouldn't even think about that. But anywho, what's like an exotic? Have you had kangaroo?
No. I keep it pretty basic.
Lean, like she said it was kind of like lean like venison, but it was a lighter meat, like kind of more like a pork chop or something like that. Anyway.
Yeah, see, I've cooked bear. I smoked bear for a lot of people. I smoked venison. I guess gator would be the wildest thing I've had. Yeah. I've had some requests for smoked possum or smoked raccoon. I'm just like, I can't do that. I don't. They're kind of gnarly.
Smoker for it,
yeah. I mean, I heard the mission smoker up too, like the oils and stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
You got to take it apart
different
when you're
done.
Fats
and smells. And
yeah. Oh God. Oh, disgusting. Well, for those that like it, you know, enjoy. But for me, like gator, about the wildest thing now they had they were gonna smoke a snake at one of the events for True Smoke.
Like smoked rattlesnake or something?
Yeah, smoked rattlesnake. And I think they found a mouse or something inside, so they couldn't do it. But I was like,
that's the line. That's the line, Fernando, for real. They were like, everything with the snake checked out until we found we didn't know enough about the mouse. Like, give me a break, bro. You're eating a snake. That's hilarious.
That's what I was thinking, too. Like, you might as well eat the mouse, too.
Yeah, you taste it. Smoke his little tail, too.
Whatever the snake ate, it's a part of it now. So, I mean, the mouse is just like extra flavor. But
yeah, if you would have given him 3 more days, maybe it would have made it through the checks. That's hilarious. That is so funny.
So,
what about salmon? You ever smoked salmon?
Yeah, I love smoking salmon. Yeah, smoked salmon is amazing.
No one does that down here. You're going to have to do that.
I want to do it.
Dude, if you do it, definitely, you got to have to make a big deal about that. Cause we'll be there for sure.
Smoked salmon, and I make my own honey bourbon glaze. Mm-hmm. Oh, man, it's delicious.
Like a little mango salsa or something on top. Oh, my gosh. Yeah, what's up, girl? She's like, yes. Yeah, or like salmon jerky. Like, oh, my goodness. Oh, yeah. Man. You ever do like that stuff? The jerky stuff? Is that similar?
It's similar.
Similar-ish?
Yeah, it's a slower process.
Right.
You know.
More like a dehydrator. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, but people use their smokers as it. A lot of people make, I know Dave Gordon made some jerky, and seen a couple other people make, so I think Ryan made some jerky. But I think Sam Sumler did. So I'm trying to think of all the people I've seen make jerky, but I've never tried it. Mm-hmm. I like jerky, but I never tried to make it. You know, gotcha. I've had turkey jerky, venison jerky,
turkey jerky,
beef jerky. Somebody
Ostrich.
had some bear jerky. But outside of that,
we've had ostrich jerky.
Well, I haven't tried
Believe
that.
it or not. There's this little spot up in Michigan we used to go to, like, we'd go catch salmon. Like, when they would do the little, the salmon would run in the month of September in Michigan. They run up the rivers to spawn. So they go out and they, I'll forget the term, but basically the DNR up there was dumping, all the fish in. And they were stocking them, that's what it is. And, man, it's been that long since I've been in the fishing game. I got to get back. I got to retire. The $100,000 so I can get back to having hobbies. So we go up there. My grandparents went for like 25 years in a row where, like, once they retired, they went and spent the whole month of September, camped, took a little fishing boat and fished these little rivers for salmon and stuff. So we used to go up there and do that kind of growing up a little bit and into high school. But there's this little tiny jerky shop, and the guy you'd go in, we pretty much, like, you go on vacation, you're a kid, you, like, you got like $68 to buy stuff, and we'd spend our whole wad on jerky at the jerky stop. It was so funny. It wasn't like a chain; it was just like one little dude in like Dublin, Michigan. If you've ever been there randomly, but like it was kind of cool. Big on that stuff, man.
Oh yeah. Certain places, I mean, you find something you like, you'll spend your money on it.
Yeah.
I mean, I got certain places that, when I travel, like it's a sub place in Philly, it's a pizza place in the Bronx. A steak place in Manhattan. I mean, those places, they take the steak and you pick your own steak, and it's beautiful cuts of meat, and they cook it over a live flame at like 1,000 degrees or something.
Oh, wow.
And it sears really good, and then they let it cool down. You can't be in a rush to eat there. I mean, you're looking 35, 45 minutes.
Okay.
In the whole process. So, but when they bring it out, I'm telling you, that steak was so good. I would order two. I knew it was going to be that good.
Yeah, no doubt. So how do they do that? Is that just, they like flat, they sear the tar out of it right now, and then they pull it back and let it cool and just let that kind of soak in, and it just kind of slow cooks. So like a medium rare, they're just like hitting it really hard, getting it crispy. Yeah,
I think he said it was 700 or 1,000 degrees, but it was super hot. They
nice.
cook each one at a time. So he slides it in. It's like getting all this intense heat. Man.
Yeah, that's super sweet. The other thing, I'm trying to think. Oh, like the hot rock steaks.
Oh yeah,
I like that stuff too.
Yeah,
there's a spot in Columbus that does it called Elevator, and you basically you order your whole gig, and they give you like all the veggies and stuff. They give you like your steak on the side. Everything comes out raw, and then it's got that like smoking hot, like rock on there. Super awesome. I love that stuff.
Yeah, some of the restaurants are going to now when you cook your steak at your table. I think they just came back on kitchen staff.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
But there's a restaurant coming to Greenville. I think it's a Chinese restaurant where you can cook all your meats at your own table.
Nice.
I'm worried about how that's gonna work, But hey,
I want to be like Mongolian barbecue, but don't have the guys back there. I want to go back there and
right. I love Mongolian barbecue. By the way,
I worked there for like a blip. Oh my gosh, it was amazing.
Oh yeah. I was one of the people that really. Hey, mix this, and that, and this, and people were like, "How'd you get that?" I was like, "I know what I wanted," So, food is the way of life, and food like makes people travel,
right?
So, I got one of my friends. He drives to a friend of a friend. He drives to Virginia just to get a hot dog on his motorcycle.
No doubt.
It's just one hot dog spot.
He just loves it. It's
right.
Where it is.
It's kind of therapy for him to drive to, but that's his day. He goes, he get the hot dog, he eat it, and he come back. But that's his thing, so you can't knock it. So.
Yeah, it is what it is. This is like a super first world story, but before I moved down here, I was worked for Steph's parents. We sold airplane parts for like this experimental aircraft that people would build, and he had one, and yada yada. And there was like a funny saying going in that community where people will get up, go to the hangar, meet a buddy or whatever, or they'll call a buddy that lives maybe like 2 hours away. All these aviation guys are like true smoke guys. They all communicate. They're fly boys. They know each other. Or maybe they were building the same airplane about the same time, and they became friends because of that. There's a little community there, and these guys will hit each other up on they'll have a Saturdays thing where some of these airstrips for general aviation will have like a little diner tag to them, and so they'll what they call the $100 hamburger.
Oh wow!
So you're gonna burn about maybe 20 gallons of fuel, which at the time was like $5 a gallon. So it's about $100 in fuel to go get in your airplane, fly an hour to Urbana, land, meet all your buddies. Y'all fly in with your airplanes from wherever you're from. you have a $10 burger, you put $100 in fuel in the airplane, and you fly back. And it was just like, again, it's super first world. I never got a $100 hamburger, but like, it was just a funny like thing that people would talk about. Like, anybody want to catch a $100 hamburger this weekend? It was like, it's like going and riding your motorcycle for the afternoon. They're going and riding, flying the airplane for fun, and go somewhere and meet people.
That's neat though.
It's kind of funny too. We got to get have to figure out a way, man. There's a bunch of people that do those kind of like low and slow airplanes, and they like to land on grass fields or like a grass airstrip. We got to see if Chris has got enough of a runway out there. Have a little fly-in.
Yeah, that would be really neat. That
could be something. Now you start taking little silos of people and putting them together.
Yeah, that'd be pretty neat.
Chris, if you got a little landing strip out there, let us know.
Yeah, like a flying smoke thing. Yeah, they come in and fly in. And
the True Smoke fly-in.
Oh my God, that'd be amazing. Yeah. That'd be amazing.
I'm just saying, just throw it out there.
Yeah. Because all they would have to do is come in like the day before the event, and land in planes and park it, and
Well, these people they'll fly in, they'll bring the tent, and they'll camp right under the wing, and that's their thing. They'll do that for the weekend. There's a whole batch of people that do that too.
That would be nice. Neat, right? I mean, it will open up the venue too for like so many other people too. Yeah. So
yeah.
And there are a couple of pilots. I know Dave Buddha. He's a pilot already. Nice. I can talk to him about it. He does a lot of. He does commercial flights, but he does smaller flights too. So maybe he got some people. Yeah,
there's a decent amount of people out around here that have it. Being, we are from Ohio, the real birthplace of aviation.
North Carolina.
Anywho, I digress. But there's a big, I guess I would say, there's a big community of aviators up there. There's a big community down here too, and then especially like the Southwest, you got the crop dusting and stuff like that. All those guys have those little fun planes, those little vintage planes that they like flying around and stuff too. So.
Right, and they're looking at expanding as the field across from the event center now that we have at Hatch's Place. They're thinking about expanding. So I mean, that would be. I'm gonna have to talk to Hatch about that. Like, hey man, let's think about doing a fly-in. Yeah. I mean, that would be so nice. I mean, you would pull people from even a bigger net. It's all about networking. Yeah. So
you get like a good you gotta put out the APV for someone in the True Smoke that's really their jam, and then they're also like their second or their first hobby would be the other, and see if they can't put together a group, man. Because there's some crossover there. It's a lot of these guys that fly work on their airplanes too. I mean, they got meat smoking in the smoker at the hangar while they're doing an oil change.
And then the smoke itself. If you like smoke, you like smoke. Like if it's exhaust smoke or food smoke. Air show going.
Man, I'm telling you, it'd be hot.
Yeah, it'd be hot. I'm gonna definitely talk to them about it. Cool. Yeah.
Well, cool, man. You got anything else to add? We covered a lot of good bases. We do this thing at the end called shameless self-promotion. We kind of try to do it the whole thing, but this is where you can just shamelessly plug us with where can you actually find and follow Beary Smokey and Fernando and see where to find you.
Cool. So if you're looking for the physical address, we're located at 222 North Heritage Street in Kinston, North Carolina. We also cater. And we provide in-house catering service as well as have an upstairs venue that will seat 75 to 85 comfortably. We also participate in various cooking events in the Eastern North Carolina area. We support the Joy Soup Kitchen in Greenville, ran by Thomas Quigley. So we'll show up there sometimes and help prep food or deliver food. And there's so many other ways to try to participate in the community. So we support several local schools, and the teachers and their staff, we throw different get-togethers and things like that. So if you want to find us online, you can email me at Beary Smokey, BARY SMOKEY @hotmail.com, or you can call the restaurant at 252-643-2176, or you can find me on Facebook as Fernando Hicks, FERNANDO. You'll see a food picture. That'll probably be me. And you can find me on the True Smoke website as well. And if you want to join, you can see all the wonderful food pictures that we share collaboratively as a group. And you can find me at the Beary Smokey Beary Smokey Smokehouse page on Facebook. Feel free to leave a message or send your name and number and tell us what you would like if you have specialized events or foods. And hey, we may smoke something especially for you.
Like that salmon.
Definitely gonna get the salmon going.
I like that. Definitely. So you got like a graduation party, little wedding, little family get together, lunch and learn, and you need a location, man. Pretty hot spot right in downtown Kinston.
Yes, pretty beautiful, hot spot. Beautiful, turn of the century design building. 16-foot ceilings, 12-foot windows. I mean, you can't beat it. So
it's very cool spot. Private bathroom upstairs. I mean,
yeah. It's ready. All you got to do, show up, have a good time, safe and secure, private. Yep. Hey, what a place for you.
Right on, man. Right on. Well, cool, dude. I appreciate you coming to join me.
Thank you so much, man.
You got it. Thank you, everyone else here for joining us here on episode 27 of the Kickin' It With podcast. My name is Zac Holcomb. This is our guest, Fernando Hicks of Beary Smokey Smokehouse in downtown Kinston. Check them out. We appreciate it, and we'll catch up with you on episode 28.
Thank you so much.